Commander Kim stood on the bridge of Defense Station Alpha watching three massive alien fleets surround Earth like hungry wolves. The red lights of Vorthan warships stretched across the northern sky, while the silver domes of Silicon Collective vessels blocked out entire star clusters to the east. In the south, the burning orange ships of the Plasma Lords moved in perfect formation like a wall of fire closing in on humanity's last stronghold. Kim had been waiting for this moment for 5 long years, ever since the intelligence reports first suggested that the 3 most powerful species in the galaxy were planning something big against humanity. He touched the communication panel on his command chair and opened a channel to Earth. Surface Captain Lee responded immediately from the Planetary Command Center. His voice carried the weight of 200 billion human lives spread across dozens of worlds throughout the galaxy. Lee had been Kim's best friend since they attended the Earth Space Academy together 20 years ago, back when humanity was still learning how to build proper starships. The alien transmission came exactly at noon Earth time. Kim watched the holographic display as Admiral Yoon of the Vorthan Empire appeared. His blue skin seemed to glow with confidence, and his 6 arms moved in gestures that meant victory in his culture. Behind him stood representatives of the other 2 species. The Silicon Collective delegate looked like a walking computer, made of metal and crystal, while the Plasma Lord's ambassador appeared as pure energy barely contained in a humanoid shape. Admiral Yoon spoke in perfect English, though his accent made every word sound like a threat. Humanity has grown too dangerous, he said. Your species learns too quickly, adapts too easily, and improves our technology better than we can ourselves. This cannot continue. You have 24 hours to surrender completely. All humans will be relocated to a single planet under our supervision. Your weapons will be destroyed, your ships will be scrapped, and your expansion into the galaxy will end forever. Kim felt his jaw tighten as he listened. The aliens were afraid that much was obvious 50 years ago, when humanity first met alien civilizations. Earth was nothing more than a primitive world with basic rocket technology. The aliens had been generous, sharing knowledge about faster-than-light travel, energy weapons, and advanced materials. They thought humans would remain grateful junior partners, forever happy to receive scraps of technology from their advanced neighbors. How wrong they had been. Within 10 years, human engineers had reverse-engineered every piece of alien technology they could get their hands on. Within 20 years, they had improved most of it. Within 30 years, human ships were faster than alien vessels. Human weapons hit harder than alien guns, and human colonies were spreading across the galaxy faster than anyone thought possible. The aliens, who once looked down on humanity as primitive children, now saw them as dangerous competitors. Species that had dominated the galaxy for thousands of years suddenly found themselves being outperformed by newcomers who had barely learned to leave their home planet. Human traders were making better deals, human diplomats were forming stronger alliances, and human scientists were making discoveries that left alien researchers confused and jealous. But the worst part for the established powers was that humans kept making friends with smaller species. The galaxy was full of civilizations that the major powers preferred to keep weak and dependent. Humanity treated these species as equals, sharing technology and forming partnerships. The Vorthan Empire, Silicon Collective, and Plasma Lords watched in horror as their carefully maintained system of galactic control began to crumble. Kim turned to his communications officer, Lieutenant Commander Nam. Patch me through to Dr. Park and General Cho immediately, he ordered. Within minutes, the holographic images of Earth's 2 most important leaders appeared on the bridge. Dr. Park was humanity chief scientist, a brilliant woman who had led the reverse engineering projects that gave humans their technological edge. Her laboratory, deep beneath the Himalayas, housed the most advanced research facility in known space. General Cho commanded all of Earth's defensive forces and had been planning for this exact scenario since the first intelligence reports suggested an alien alliance was forming. The 3 leaders looked at each other in silence for a moment. They had discussed this possibility countless times in secret meetings over the past 5 years. Everyone knew what had to be done. General Cho spoke first. Our defensive positions are ready, he said. Every human world has been prepared. The underground facilities are fully stocked and operational. All civilian populations have been briefed and are standing by for Protocol 7. Dr. Park Nodded. The new weapon systems are online, she added. We have technological advantages the aliens don't even know exist. Our improvements to their own technology will surprise them. The hidden manufacturing facilities have been producing equipment. For 3 years, everything is ready. Kim took a deep breath and activated the emergency communication system that connected him to every human settlement in the galaxy. From Earth colonies on Mars to mining stations in the Outer Rim to the newest settlements 50 light-years away, every human would hear his next words. Attention. All human settlements, he announced. This is Commander Kim at Defense Station Alpha. The alien coalition has demanded our complete surrender and relocation to a single world under their control. We have 24 hours to respond. He paused, letting the weight of the situation sink in. Across hundreds of worlds, Protocol 7 is now active, he continued. All civilians report to designated safe areas immediately. All military and scientific personnel prepare for extended operations. All surface facilities will go dark in exactly 6 hours. Remember, this is not the end. This is the beginning. The communication ended. Kim turned back to the alien transmission that was still waiting for a response. Admiral Yoon. Image flickered slightly, showing his impatience. Kim opened the response channel and looked directly at the Vorthan commander. You want an answer, he said. Here it is. You chose this conflict when you could have chosen cooperation. You chose fear when you could have chosen friendship. You chose war when you could have chosen peace. He leaned forward, his voice growing cold and dangerous. Remember that choice, Admiral, because what happens next is entirely your responsibility. The transmission ended. Kim immediately activated the final phase of Protocol 7 across human space. Every communication array went silent. Every city light dimmed to nothing. Every space station stopped broadcasting throughout the galaxy. 200 billion humans simply vanished from alien sensors. The aliens thought they had won before the first shot was fired. They controlled the space around human worlds. They outnumbered human forces 10 to 1, and they possessed weapons that had conquered civilizations for millennia. But, as Admiral Yoon would soon discover, humanity greatest strength was not their technology or their weapons. It was their ability to plan ahead, adapt to any situation, and turn apparent defeat into ultimate victory. The aliens had given humanity exactly what they needed: time to prepare and the element of surprise. As Defense Station Alpha powered down and disappeared from alien sensors, Kim smiled grimly. The real war was about to begin, and the aliens had no idea what they had gotten themselves into. Admiral Yoon paced back and forth on his flagship command deck, staring at empty space where Earth should be showing signs of life. 3 days had passed since humanity received the ultimatum. 3 days of complete silence from every human world in the galaxy. No distress signals, no surrender messages, no desperate attempts to negotiate. Nothing at all. This was not what Yoon had expected in his 40 years of conquest across the galaxy. Every species behaved the same way when faced with overwhelming force. They either fought desperately until the bitter end, or they surrendered quickly to save their lives. Some tried to bargain, offering resources or technology in exchange for mercy. Others begged for time to evacuate their most important people. Humans did none of these things. They simply vanished. Yoon called for Lieutenant Commander Nam to join him on the bridge. Nam was his best scout officer, experienced in investigating conquered worlds and searching for hidden resistance. She had explored dozens of defeated civilizations and knew every trick desperate species used to hide from their conquerors. Nam, your teams have been scanning human worlds for 3 days now, Yoon said. What have you found? The reports make no sense, Admiral Nam replied. We have sent probe ships to Mars, Jupiter colonies, the lunar bases, and dozens of human settlements. Every single location appears completely abandoned. The cities are intact, the power systems are still running, but there are no life signs anywhere. Show me the surface scans, Yoon demanded. Nam activated the holographic display showing images from Mars' surface. The great dome cities that housed millions of humans stood empty. Streets that should have been filled with vehicles and people showed nothing. Moving sidewalks continued operating but carried no passengers. Automated systems maintained perfect temperature and lighting in buildings where nobody lived. Earth is the same way, Nam continued. We landed investigation teams in New York, London, Tokyo, and Seoul. The cities look like everyone just walked away in the middle of their daily activities. Food is still warm on restaurant tables. Vehicles are parked perfectly in their spaces. Computer systems are running normally, showing data from just hours ago, but every human has disappeared. Yoon felt a cold sensation in his chest that his species associated with danger. This was wrong. Civilizations did not just vanish into thin air. 200 billion humans could not simply disappear without leaving any trace. Where had they gone? How had they moved so many people so quickly without any ships being detected? Keep scanning. Yoon ordered. There must be underground bunkers or hidden bases somewhere. No species can hide their entire population. This effectively. Nam nodded, but her expression showed doubt. We have found some underground facilities. Admiral, deep tunnels and large chambers that appear recently evacuated. The equipment is still warm and some systems are still operational, but they seem to be research labs and manufacturing centers, not living spaces for billions of people. What kind of research? Yoon asked. That's the disturbing part. Nam said the laboratories contain technology we don't recognize, equipment that appears to be based on our own designs but modified in ways our scientists cannot understand. Some of the manufacturing facilities have been producing weapons and ships using materials we have never seen before. Yoon stared at the display images showing underground complexes filled with advanced machinery. Human engineers had clearly been working on projects far beyond what the aliens thought possible. This was not the desperate preparation of a defeated species. This looked like the careful planning of a civilization ready for war. Over the next few days, more disturbing discoveries emerged. Human settlements that appeared empty from space contained hidden weapon systems that activated when alien ships approached too closely. Automated defense networks that should not exist began firing on alien patrol vessels. Mining stations thought to be abandoned suddenly launched swarms of small attack craft before going silent again. Silicon Collective delegate contacted Yoon with similar reports from their assigned sectors. Human worlds under their investigation showed the same patterns: empty cities, advanced underground facilities, and mysterious defensive systems that appeared and disappeared without warning. The Plasma Lords reported even stranger phenomena. Their energy-based sensors detected massive power sources deep beneath human worlds but could not identify what was generating such enormous amounts of energy. The readings suggested industrial complexes larger than entire alien cities, operating in complete secrecy. Yoon called an emergency meeting with the other coalition leaders. Via quantum communication, the holographic images of his allies appeared in the conference room aboard his flagship. We have a problem, Yoon announced. The humans have not surrendered or fled. They have prepared for this situation in ways we did not anticipate. Every human world shows evidence of advanced preparation. Underground facilities and technology that exceeds our current understanding. The Silicon Collective delegate processed this information for several seconds before responding. Our analysis suggests the humans have been planning this scenario for many years. The underground complexes show construction techniques and materials that would require decades to develop and install. The Plasma Lord's ambassador flickered with agitation. Our energy readings indicate power generation capabilities that should not be possible for their level of technology. Either they have made discoveries we are unaware of, or they have been hiding their true capabilities for much longer than we thought. Yoon felt the cold sensation growing stronger. Something was very wrong with this entire situation. The humans were supposed to be the weaker species, the newcomers who needed protection and guidance from their advanced alien neighbors. Instead, they had vanished like ghosts, leaving behind evidence of technology and planning that suggested they were far more dangerous than anyone had realized. We proceed with caution. Yoon decided. Double all patrols, increase sensor sweeps, and maintain strict formation flying. I want every alien ship to stay in groups of at least 10 vessels. Do not approach human installations alone and report any unusual activity immediately. As the meeting ended, Yoon stared out at the empty space around Earth. Somewhere beneath the surface of that quiet planet and dozens of others. Like it, 200 billion humans were hiding, but the evidence suggested they were not cowering in fear waiting for rescue. They were planning something, and whatever it was, Yoon suspected the aliens were not going to like it. Captain Song pressed her face against the periscope viewing port, watching alien patrol ships move across the Pacific Ocean surface far above her hidden position. 3 weeks had passed since humanity disappeared from alien sensors, and the invaders had grown comfortable with their easy victory. They established temporary governments in human cities, brought their own people to live in human homes, and began treating Earth like their personal prize. They had no idea that beneath the ocean floor, Song commanded one of 50 underwater military bases connected by tunnels that stretched across the entire Pacific Ocean basin. Each base housed 10,000 human soldiers, scientists, and engineers who had been living and working underground for 2 years preparing for exactly this situation. Song opened her communication channel to the other base commanders scattered around the globe. "Captain, this is Pacific Base 7, she said. All alien surface activity shows normal patterns. They are maintaining regular patrol schedules and their guard is down. Similar reports came from bases beneath every ocean and continent on Earth. The aliens thought they controlled the surface, but they had no idea what lay beneath their feet. Humanity had spent 5 years building the largest underground network in the history of any species. Cities, factories, weapons, manufacturing plants, research laboratories, and training centers, all connected by high-speed transport tunnels. The aliens had conquered empty shells while the real human civilization continued operating in secret. Engineer KO responded from Mars Base 1, where he monitored alien activity on the red planet. "The situation is the same here," he reported. "The aliens have moved into our surface cities, but they don't know about the underground complexes beneath the polar ice caps. We have been watching them for 3 weeks, and they have no idea we exist." Shin spoke from her laboratory complex beneath the Himalayas, the deepest and most advanced facility in the network. "Our weapon development programs are ahead of schedule," she announced. "The new generation of human technology is ready for field testing. We have successfully combined and improved alien designs from all 3 species. The results exceed our most optimistic projections." Song smiled as she listened to the reports. For 50 years, humanity had been learning from alien technology, but they had never shared their most advanced systems. Humans had to steal, reverse engineer, and improve everything themselves, but in doing so, they discovered something remarkable. Human creativity and problem-solving abilities far exceeded those of any known species. What took alien civilizations thousands of years to develop, humans had improved upon in just decades. The weapons emerging from Dr. Shin laboratories were not copies of alien technology. They were revolutionary advances that combined the best features of all 3 species' designs, enhanced by human innovation and engineering. Song activated her tactical display showing the positions of all alien forces on Earth's surface. They had distributed themselves evenly across human cities, believing they needed to maintain control over a conquered population. They never suspected that the real human population was living comfortably in underground cities that made their surface settlements look primitive. "The first strikes would begin tonight," Song announced to her team commanders. "We have identified primary targets in every major alien camp, supply convoys, communication centers, and patrol base locations. Our initial attacks will focus on confusion rather than destruction. We want them to start questioning what they think they know." Lieutenant Commander Park nodded from his position at the weapons control station. "Our new stealth technology will make us invisible to their sensors," she said. "The attack craft we have developed can approach, strike, and disappear without being detected. We can hit them from any direction at any time." Song looked at her tactical officers. "We are not starting a desperate resistance against impossible odds," she said. "We are beginning a demonstration of why underestimating humanity was the worst mistake these aliens have ever made." The underground war was about to begin, and the aliens still believed they were occupying defeated human worlds. In reality, they were trapped inside the largest military operation in galactic history, surrounded by enemies they could not see, using technology they did not understand, commanded by a species that had been planning this exact scenario for years. Song gave the final order to all human bases across the galaxy. "The surface belongs to them for now," she said. "But everything beneath the surface belongs to us. Tonight we start teaching them the difference." Major Beak crouched in the tunnel entrance beneath New Sol, watching the alien patrol through his night vision scope. 6 Vorthan soldiers walked casually down the empty street, talking among themselves and paying little attention to their surroundings. They had been occupying the city for a month now and had encountered no resistance whatsoever. Their confidence had made them careless that Carelessness was about to cost them everything. Beak signaled to his team of 12 human soldiers positioned at different points along the street. Each soldier carried weapons that looked similar to alien energy rifles but performed far better. Human engineers had taken the basic alien designs and improved them in ways the original creators never imagined. The power output was 50% higher, the accuracy was nearly perfect, and most importantly, they made no sound when fired. The attack lasted exactly 30 seconds. The alien patrol was eliminated before they could send a distress signal or even understand what was happening. Beak team collected the alien weapons and equipment, then vanished back into the tunnel system, leaving no trace they had ever been there. Similar attacks happened simultaneously across dozens of human worlds. Hidden human forces emerged from underground networks, struck alien positions with devastating effectiveness, then disappeared again before reinforcements could arrive. Each assault demonstrated the same pattern. Aliens who thought they were safe suddenly found themselves under attack by enemies they could not see or detect. Colonel Min watched the space battles from her command center hidden inside a hollowed-out asteroid in the outer solar system. Her fleet consisted of 200 ships built in secret using hybrid human-alien technology but improved beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. The vessels appeared on alien sensors as floating debris until the moment they attacked. Men opened fire on the Vorthan supply convoy that was bringing reinforcements to Earth. The human ships moved faster, hit harder, and defended better than their alien counterparts. The entire convoy was destroyed in less than 10 minutes with no human losses. Min fleet vanished back into their asteroid hiding places before the aliens could even identify what had attacked them. The psychological impact proved as devastating as the physical damage. Alien forces across human space began reporting equipment failures, mysterious explosions, and soldiers who simply vanished without explanation. Every shadow became a potential threat. Every technical malfunction became evidence of human sabotage. Jadmar Yun called another emergency meeting with his coalition partners, but this time his confidence was gone. The holographic images of the Silicon Collective and Plasma Lord's representatives showed similar concerns. We are not fighting the species we thought we conquered. Yun admitted our intelligence was completely wrong. These humans have technology that exceeds our own capabilities, and they know our weaknesses better than we know them ourselves. The Silicon Collective delegate processed battle reports for several minutes before responding. Analysis of attack patterns suggests the humans have been studying our military tactics and equipment specifications for many years. They know exactly how to defeat our defenses, and they have weapons specifically designed to counter our advantages. The Plasma Lord's ambassador flickered with agitation. Our energy-based senses cannot detect their stealth technology. Their ships appear to be made of materials we have never encountered, and their movement patterns suggest space propulsion systems that should not be possible. General Ru chose that moment to broadcast humanity's second message to the galaxy. The transmission reached every alien world, every fleet, and every military installation simultaneously. General Ru appeared as a hologram, speaking directly to alien leaders from his hidden command center deep beneath Earth's surface. We warned you that you chose this conflict, he said calmly. Now you are discovering what that choice means. You thought you were conquering primitive humans who would be grateful for your guidance. Instead, you are fighting the most advanced military force the galaxy has ever seen. The BROADCAST included technical specifications showing that human weapons now exceeded alien technology in every category. Battle footage demonstrated alien forces being systematically defeated by supposedly inferior human equipment. Most disturbing of all, the transmission revealed that humans had been preparing for this war for 5 years, while the aliens thought they were making friends. We are just getting started. General Ru continued, every human world you think you control is actually a trap. Every city you occupy is surrounded by enemies you cannot detect. We have been building weapons and defenses while you have been growing comfortable with your ancient advantages. The message concluded with a simple promise: surrender now and return to your homeworlds, or face the consequences of underestimating humanity. Your choice, Admiral Yun, but choose quickly, because we have 200 billion people who are very angry about your invasion, and they are all armed with technology you thought was impossible The transmission ended, leaving alien forces across the galaxy staring at empty holographic displays, wondering how they had so completely misjudged. The species they thought they were conquering, the humans, were not desperate refugees hiding in underground bunkers. They were the apex predators of the galaxy, and they had been pretending to be harmless until the moment their enemies revealed their true intentions. Director Ha descended in the high-speed elevator toward the deepest facility humanity had ever built, located beneath Earth. Molten core in a specially constructed chamber that existed in conditions no other species thought possible. The elevator journey took 20 minutes, traveling through layers of rock metal and artificial materials designed to hide humanity's greatest secret from any possible detection. The chamber housed Project Genesis, the culmination of 50 years of human research into every aspect of alien civilization. Ha walked through laboratories filled with detailed studies of alien biology, psychology, social structures, and most importantly, their weaknesses. Every major species in the galaxy had been analyzed with scientific precision, and humans had discovered something remarkable. The galaxy dominant civilizations had not innovated or improved their technology in thousands of years. They had become comfortable with their superiority over younger species and stopped pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This stagnation was about to cost them everything. Ha activated the main display, showing the true scope of human preparation. While aliens shared basic technology 50 years ago, thinking they were helping primitive humans had been reverse engineering, studying and improving everything they could access. More importantly, they had been developing completely new technologies that combined the best features of every alien civilization they encountered. The results were staggering. Human ships were now faster than anything in the galaxy. Human weapons could penetrate defenses that aliens thought were impenetrable. Human sensors could detect stealth technology that had hidden alien movements for millennia. Most impressive of all, human manufacturing could produce advanced equipment in quantities that made alien production look primitive, but the technological advances were only part of the revelation. The real secret was that humanity had been studying alien psychology and tactics with the same scientific approach they used for everything else. They knew exactly how each species thought, fought, and could be defeated. The current war was not desperate human resistance against impossible odds. It was a carefully planned demonstration designed to teach the galaxy why humanity deserved respect as equals rather than treatment as junior partners. Ha opened communication channels to every human commander across the galaxy and gave the order they had been waiting 5 years to hear. Operation Revelation is now active, she announced. All forces proceed to final positions across hundreds of star systems. Human forces emerged from hiding simultaneously, but these were not the small resistance groups that had been harassing alien occupiers for weeks. These were massive fleets, armies, and technological demonstrations that showed the true scale of human preparation. Captain Kang led the assault on the Vorthan homeworld itself, appearing in orbit with a fleet that should not have existed. 500 human warships materialized around the planet that had been the center of galactic power for 3,000 years. The ships used technology that combined features from every known civilization, improved by human engineering and creativity. Vorthan defense fleet launched immediately, confident that their superior numbers and home field advantage would quickly defeat the human intruders. Instead, they found themselves outclassed in every category. Human ships moved in patterns that seemed to violate the laws of physics. Human weapons cut through Vorthan shields like they were made of paper. Human defenses absorbed Vorthan attacks without showing any damage. Within 2 hours, the entire Vorthan defense fleet was destroyed or captured. The planet that had never been successfully attacked in its recorded history surrendered to a species they had considered primitive. Just months earlier, similar scenes played out across the galaxy. As human forces revealed the true extent of their capabilities, the Silicon Collective homeworld fell to human cyber warfare that turned their own computer systems against them. The Plasma Lords' energy-based civilization found itself unable to compete with human power generation and weapons technology. Director Ha broadcast the final revelation to every world in the galaxy, speaking from her position deep beneath Earth core, where she commanded technology that surpassed anything aliens had ever imagined. Possibly you believed you were the advanced civilizations, guiding primitive humanity, she said, but you stopped growing centuries ago while we never stopped learning. We took your basic technology and improved it in ways you thought impossible. We studied your weaknesses with scientific precision and developed counters to every advantage you thought you possessed. The broadcast included detailed technical specifications showing exactly how human technology now exceeded alien capabilities in every measurable category. It showed manufacturing facilities that could produce advanced equipment faster than aliens could deploy it. It demonstrated weapons testing that proved human military superiority beyond any possible doubt. Most importantly, it revealed the scope of human planning that had made this victory inevitable. We spent 50 years preparing for this moment. Ha continued, while you spent 50 years assuming you would always be superior. We built weapons while you maintained old equipment. We developed new strategies while you relied on ancient tactics. We prepared for war while you prepared for easy conquest. The message concluded with an ultimatum that echoed across every alien world. You chose this conflict when you could have chosen cooperation. Now you face the consequences of your decision. Surrender immediately and accept human leadership of the galaxy, or face complete destruction. The choice is yours, but choose quickly because we have been patient long enough. President Chang stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Galactic Cooperative Council building, watching as representatives from hundreds of alien species arrived on Earth for the first truly democratic galactic government in recorded history. 6 months had passed since the end of the war, and the changes across the galaxy had been remarkable. The three major powers that had once ruled through fear and domination now existed as equal members of the Cooperative Council. The Vorthan Empire had dissolved its rigid hierarchy, allowing individual creativity for the first time in thousands of years. The Silicon Collective had abandoned its hive mind limitations, and individual members were learning to think independently. The Plasma Lords had evolved beyond their warrior culture into something more sophisticated than endless conflict. Chang smiled as she watched former enemies working together on projects that benefited everyone. The Vorthan skill with biological sciences, combined with human innovation, had produced medical advances that extended life for all species. Silicon Collective computing power, merged with human creativity, was solving mathematical problems that had puzzled scientists for millennia. Plasma Lord's energy manipulation techniques, enhanced by human engineering, were providing clean power to worlds that had never known abundance. Ambassador Lim approached, carrying the daily reports from council meetings held in the building below. The progress reports are extraordinary, she said. Species that had not developed new technology in centuries are making breakthrough discoveries every day. The innovation rate across the galaxy has increased by over 3,000% since we established the cooperative system. Chang nodded as she reviewed the reports. The most remarkable change was not technological but social. Civilizations that had been locked in static hierarchies for thousands of years were discovering the benefits of cooperation over competition. Young members of ancient species were contributing ideas that their elders had never considered possible. The key difference was humanity approach to galactic leadership. Unlike previous dominant civilizations that ruled through force and maintained power by keeping others weak, humanity worked to make everyone stronger. Human scientists shared their discoveries freely. Human engineers helped other species improve their own technology. Human diplomats established trade agreements that benefited all parties involved. Chang opened the communication channel that connected her to every world in the galaxy. Today we celebrate the first anniversary of the Galactic Cooperative Council, she announced. 6 months ago, many of you feared that humanity would become another dominating force, seeking to control and suppress other species. Instead, we have built something that has never existed before. True partnership between equals. The response from across the galaxy was overwhelming. Species that had once been enemies were now allies, working together on projects that advanced everyone's capabilities. Former subjects of the major powers had become independent civilizations, contributing their unique skills and knowledge to galactic society. But the most significant change was in the major powers themselves. The Vorthan Empire had discovered that allowing creativity and independent thinking made them more advanced, not weaker. The Silicon Collective found that individual consciousness enhanced their collective intelligence rather than threatening it. The Plasma Lords learned that cooperation achieved more than conquest ever could. Chang continued her address to the galaxy. You chose conflict when you could have chosen progress. But it is not too late to choose better. The war taught us all important lessons about the dangers of fear and the benefits of working together. Now we have the opportunity to build a civilization that celebrates the strengths of every species. The new galactic government operated on principles that had never been tried on such a scale. Decisions were made through consensus rather than force. Resources were shared based on need rather than power. Technology was developed cooperatively rather than competitively. Most importantly, every species had an equal voice regardless of their military strength or economic power. Dr. Park, now serving as the Council Chief Science Officer, reported on the most recent breakthrough discoveries. In just 6 months, we have solved energy problems that have limited civilizations for centuries, developed faster than light communication that connects every world instantly, and created manufacturing techniques that can provide abundance for everyone. The results of cooperation exceed anything achieved through domination. Chang watched as alien children played together in the parks, surrounding the council building, speaking multiple languages and learning from each other in ways their parents had never imagined possible. This was the real victory, not the military defeat of hostile civilizations, but the creation of a society where every species could reach their full potential. The final message Chang broadcast would be remembered throughout galactic history as the moment when civilization truly began. You chose conflict when we offered cooperation, but that choice led to something better than either of us imagined. The galaxy now belongs to all of us together. Welcome to Humanity Galaxy, but remember, it is not human technology or human weapons that make us strong. It is our belief that everyone deserves the chance to become their best selves. The broadcast ended with images of the cooperative projects happening across the galaxy, former enemies building wonders together that none could have achieved alone, species that had been suppressed for millennia, making discoveries that advanced all of civilization, worlds that had known only scarcity now enjoying abundance through shared resources and knowledge. Chang looked up at the stars, knowing that humanity had achieved something more valuable than military victory. They had proven that cooperation was stronger than domination, that diversity was more powerful than uniformity, and that the best way to lead was to help everyone else succeed. The aliens had feared human expansion because they thought it meant their own decline. Instead, humanity had shown them that when everyone grows stronger together, there is no limit to what civilization can achieve. The galaxy that had been divided by fear and competition had become united by hope and shared purpose, and that transformation would echo through the stars for generations to come. Kim had been waiting for this moment for 5 long years, ever since the intelligence reports first suggested that the 3 most powerful species in the galaxy were planning something big against humanity. He touched the communication panel on his command chair and opened the channel to Earth surface. Captain Lee responded immediately from the planetary command center. His voice carried the weight of 200 billion human lives spread across dozens of worlds throughout the galaxy. Lee had been Kim's best friend since they attended the Earth Space Academy together 20 years ago. Back when humanity was still learning how to build proper starships, the alien transmission came exactly at noon Earth time. Kim watched the holographic display. As Admiral Yoon of the Vorthan Empire appeared, his blue skin seemed to glow with confidence, and his 6 arms moved in gestures that meant victory in his culture. Behind him stood representatives of the other 2 species, the Silicon Collective. Delegate looked like a walking computer made of metal and crystal, while the Plasma Lords Ambassador appeared as pure energy barely contained in a humanoid shape. Admiral Yoon spoke in perfect English, though his accent made every word sound like a threat. Humanity has grown too dangerous, he said. Your species learns too quickly, adapts too easily, and improves our technology better than we can ourselves. This cannot continue. You have 24 hours to surrender completely. All humans will be relocated to a single planet under our supervision. Your weapons will be destroyed, your ships will be scrapped, and your expansion into the galaxy will end forever. Kim felt his jaw tighten as he listened. The aliens were afraid that much was obvious 50 years ago when humanity first met alien civilizations. Earth was nothing more than a primitive world with basic rocket technology. The aliens had been generous, sharing knowledge about faster-than-light travel energy weapons and advanced materials. They thought humans would remain grateful junior partners, forever happy to receive scraps of technology from their advanced neighbors. How wrong they had been. Within 10 years, human engineers had reverse-engineered every piece of alien technology they could get their hands on. Within 20 years, they had improved most of it within 30 years. Human ships were faster than alien vessels. Human weapons hit harder than alien guns, and human colonies were spreading across the galaxy faster than anyone thought possible. The aliens who once looked down on humanity as primitive children now saw them as dangerous competitors. Species that had dominated the galaxy for thousands of years suddenly found themselves being outperformed by newcomers who had barely learned to leave their home planet. Human traders were making better deals. Human diplomats were forming stronger alliances, and human scientists were making discoveries that left alien researchers confused and jealous. But the worst part for the established powers was that humans kept making friends with smaller species. The galaxy was full of civilizations that the major powers preferred to keep weak and dependent. Humanity treated these species as equal, sharing technology and forming partnerships. The Vorthan Empire, Silicon Collective, and Plasma Lords watched in horror as their carefully maintained system of galactic control